So greetings from Michaux State Forest here in south central Pennsylvania. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking for something called Rothrock's rock. That name should sound familiar to you, the name Rothrock. The rock is named after Joseph Rothrock, known as the father of forestry. We'll talk a little bit more about him as we endeavor to find this rock. But let me show you where I got the idea from first. Actually, several sources, but let me show you the map too where we're at. So here's the purple lizard map for Michaux State Forest. This is the south section. So we are parked right here. So I came in on 233, right here. And Rothrock's rock is right down here. Looks like there's some trails that go right out to it. So that's where we're at. And there is just a little bit of a, you might be able to hear the traffic from Route 233, which is right there. Yeah, there was a car by. But you can drive down here a little bit, and there's several parking spots down here. So that is where we're at. And here's one source for this idea. This is a book by Jeffrey Frazier. See the name there, Pennsylvania Mountain Landmarks. He has 3 of these books. This is book number, I was holding it the wrong way. It is book number 3. And he has a whole chapter on it in here. Yeah, there's Rothrock's rock. Whoops. There's the iconic photo of Joseph Rothrock at Rothrock's rock. The rock named after him. It looks like this was taken around 1900, overlooking the area of Michaux State Forest. And then here's a picture of the author standing by the rock. It looks a little bit different. We'll talk about that, but there's the iconic photo again engraved on this rock here. I also saw a video on this rock made by a local person. The channel's called Running Into History. I'll try to put the name down there. I forget the guy's name, but he literally does run into history. He's a runner, so sometimes when he films videos, he's running to locations instead of like hiking or things like that. But he did a video on this too. He went looking for Rothrock's rock, but he started further down that way in the valley and made his way up. I'm kind of started up here on the mountain, so I saw his video as well. And then I got this book. Jeffrey Frazier sent me these books. He has 3 of them. He sent me all 3. So if you're interested in his books, I'll show you them. I'll show you the book again in a moment. Yeah, the publisher is Catamount Press. And that's the title of the books, Pennsylvania Landmarks. There's 3 of them, like I said. What I'm curious about, I've seen other pictures online too. I think it's just a matter of the angle. So if you look at his picture, look how the rock, this is Jeffrey's picture. Look how the rock is curved like this as he's standing next to it. But if you look at Rothrock's, well, there it is right there. See how it's much more straight. Well, not totally straight, but it looks different than this. Flip over to the other picture here. There it is. Versus, there's again, versus the curve. I think that's just where people are standing perspective-wise. So I want to try and, I think the fellow running into history, he kind of addressed that too, but I want to kind of look at that myself. Kind of interested. So let's quit blabbing. Let's get to hiking. I've never been to this section of Michaux State Forest, but the purple lizard map shows some foot trails headed that way. It's like, as long as we stay up on top of this ridge, it should take us right to the rock. And I'll tell you a little bit more about Joseph Rothrock on the way there. He's an interesting fella. I'll give you a quote by him later in the video too. Alright, let's pack up. Let's see if we can find this rock. We need to find some trails too first. Alright, so Jeep is locked. This road is gated off down here, but we need to stay up on top of the ridge here. Up this way. I think this road actually goes down the mountain. Closing in on 4 o'clock. Out here a little bit later than I normally would, but I am going to be camping here in Michaux State Forest today. Here's a trail. So that's why I'm out here a little bit later. Actually, if we ever make it back for this video, I'll be headed to my campsite. This looks like this will work. I don't think these trails don't have official names. Let's see if this looks like it's taking us back. Let's keep going. Gotta find a trail that goes more that way. Alright, so here's a more official looking trail. But which way do we go? that's the direction we need to go, but this looks like it's... Just like, we need to be at the top of the ridge though. I'm just gonna quick see where this goes. As long as it heads, you know, like that way, we'll see. I'll get back to you. All right, so I think that was the right choice to make. Just checked my phone. I do have 5G service up here, so I can check Google Maps. We are walking along the ridge here now. Just gotta remember to turn off when I come back at the bottom of that steep little hill. Yeah, so who is Joseph Rothrock? He's an interesting fella. I was reading up about him earlier today. I already knew some things about him, that he was the father, considered to be the father of forestry. He was the first person in charge of the division of forestry. It was in 1895 they created that office. He was like the first commissioner. But yeah, he started out as an ill little fella. He was pretty sickly when he was young. That's where he learned to love the forest. He did all the walking in the forest, looking for healing. Story which I can relate to. Not necessarily physical healing, but more of the feeling of another sort. Healing of another sort, not feeling. But that's where he learned, that's where he fell in love with the forests of Pennsylvania. If you spend time in them, you will fall in love with them. But yeah, he served in the Civil War. Not the brightest time in his life, obviously. But he survived that. He's a veteran. Oh, our trail's going this way. I don't think we want to go this way, but we'll see. I would like this trail to turn off to the right again. Okay, here's a trail junction. Okay, this could get confusing because nothing is labeled. But I got a good memory though. So yeah, but the part of it does go down that way, but we will turn this way. Yeah, so when we see the two quartz rocks, we got to go back that way down the mountain. After we come through this beautiful pine section. So keep our eyes open for that on the way back. But then after the Civil War, he got his doctorate and became a doctor. Doctor of medicine. I think he worked on give specialists mostly like eyes and ears, things like that. So that's interesting. Went from a sickly little fellow himself, fighting in the Civil War, then becomes a doctor. He did that for quite a while. I think he studied abroad over in Europe too, I believe. But then at some point, his attention turned towards forestry. His love of the forest came back, and he ended up becoming, like I said, the first commissioner of the Division of Forestry here in Pennsylvania. I think it was 1895. I should say his lifespan went from 1839 to 1922. And later on, like I did write a quote down that he mentioned, which I find to be quite striking. And if you know anything about the history of Pennsylvania's forests, around 1895 was that time era. All our forests are being clear-cutted. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes they come out to a place like this, here in Michaux State Forest, and they think, well, it always looked like this, didn't it? Well, no. Around the time of Rothrock there, this would have been completely leveled, completely clear-cutted. And even before then, in a time with just the Native Americans, our forests looked very different than they do today. Alright, the trail keeps going. I still think I'm going the right way. Yeah, as long as we keep heading to the right here, on the top of this ridge. Pre-European era, European settlers, our forests were mostly dominated by huge white pine and hemlock forests. You know, giants. There's a few places we've been to. There are a few pockets of old growth forest here in Pennsylvania. There always are those huge pines and hemlocks. But yeah, there's a time when the majority of our forests were just leveled, lumbered away, and became wastelands. And one of the things that Rothrock was instrumental in was buying those logged out lands from the lumber companies, you know, and trying to preserve them. And, you know, they were replanted with trees. Even during the Great Depression, you know, the CCC boys did a lot of reforestation. We've talked about that in that series that we're doing. So in a lot of ways, places like this, Michaux State Forest, many others, we have Rothrock to thank for them. Not just him, there's others, but he was instrumental in that. So I'm pretty sure we're going in the right direction. Might be an overlook up here too, but I can see down on both sides. We're still on this ridge. Like I said, I've never been up here before, and these trails are not named, but I read some from the directions in that book. He said it's like maybe only half a mile out here. Feels like we're coming to the end already, so. Yeah, so hopefully this rock isn't too hard to find. I'm already seeing a big rock area up there, so I think we're at our location. Cool. Yeah, there's rocks up there, over here, just not sure. Our trail goes this way, so we'll follow the trail for now. This is a rock that people come to, so I'm thinking the trail will take us pretty close to its location. I don't know that tons of people come here, but looks like the trail goes that way. Just want a quick look over here. Yeah, let's go this way. Because there's a trail right here. You can see that. Because we drop off down here. There's a gap. On the other side here, there's another hill or ridge. There's a gap in the middle here called the Narrows. See, look at all the rocks. So our rock shouldn't be too far away. I'm guessing it's down here more yet, because it's like right at the edge before it drops down, from what I can tell. But all these rocks are a good sign too. Yeah, up ahead is a big outcrop right here, so our trail keeps going. Thinking we're at the spot. Yeah, because I can kind of see through the trees up there a little bit. It drops off on the other side. So I think this is where I see a trail going over there too. Let's go this way. That looks like a pretty clear trail. Just looking where people are. If people are going up there, or let's just go around here. Yeah, I don't want to go. This trail keeps going down. I don't believe I want to go that way. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Maybe we'll go a little way to see if we can go around. Because I'm not exactly sure where this rock is. There's a nice big rock outcrop up there, but I don't think that's what we want. Maybe later. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I didn't have any exact coordinates for this, but maybe we will follow this trail down here because I feel like I see some rocks down there. I just want to cover all my bases, so let's just go this way quick. I don't really think this is where we want to go, but I'll get back to you. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I found it. I backtracked from that trail going down there, came all the way back up to all those rocks were around the other side of them. Getting a little bit not so hopeful, but I think I see it right up here. I think so. Pretty sure is that rock right there peeking up. Pretty sure that's it. We just gotta get up here. I'm starting to wonder. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Let me get up here. Yes, that is it. We found it. Whew. Careful where we walk here. Everything's pretty slippery. It was raining today, but yeah, that's our rock right there. If you film it straight on this way, it has a more up and down look like it does with Rothrock on it, but if you get a view of it from this side, you'll see how it actually curves out this way. Let me see if I can work on that. But yeah, as we get a little bit closer from this angle, you can see how it's curved like that if you take a picture from over here. Yeah, so this is from the curved angle. Whoa, it's down, drops down there quite a bit. But yeah. So some of the pictures taken were taken looking like curved like this. I'll try to get another view of the angle that Rothrock was at over there later. I gotta go back and fetch you guys and move the camera over then and come back over here again. But yeah, this is if you look at it from this way, the rock has this curve to it. But this is where he stood. Back, I think that picture was taken, I forget when that picture was taken. Around 1915 or 1900, I guess the book said. Somewhere around there. Yeah, Rothrock's rock. It's a cool spot. Yeah, so he stood, I think he actually stood right here, looking out that way. I'll bring you up here and give you a view. It's a bit foggy, but I'll give you a view out here. Yeah, so here's up close to the rock, and he probably stood right here. Yeah, that trail, I know I didn't see the rock now from down below. There's rocks way out there. The trail was on the other side of there, so I couldn't quite see this one on the way up. There is a bit of a view out there. You can see the one mountain. A bit foggy though. All right, Rothrock's rock. All right, let me make my way across, and I'm going to find a spot. The camera was just sitting right there, looking this way at the angle. I'm going to set the more up there to give a different perspective. The one that the picture with Rothrock in it, that perspective. All right, let's get back over here. And then here's the view from the picture with Rothrock in it. He's probably standing right about here. Because this tree probably wasn't here back then. It's kind of in the way right now. But yeah, he was standing right about right here. The angle drops and looking out that way. So yeah, super awesome. Standing where the man himself stood, the father of forestry. I guess you can see me. I think that tree's in the way right there. But oh well. I can't step any further this way or I will go down. Alright, but there you go. Rothrock's rock. Let's again just another look at it from that direction. The man was staying right there because I had the camera sitting here. Prior had the camera sitting over there, and it kind of gave that different angle to the rock. So that explains the photos, why they look a little bit different. It's the same rock though. Actually, I'll come back a little bit further. That might be even a better angle. If that tree isn't so much in the way, then I think I'm gonna have to go back over there again. I think I could set the camera down here somewhere. Let's work on that. Alright, so we're back. I can barely see the camera over there. I have it zoomed in just a little bit so I look a little bit closer. But hopefully this gives you a better perspective maybe this tree is not in the way as much. Alright, the things I do for you guys. I guess, what, 3 or 4 times I crawled over that spot. That's gonna get off this pile of rocks now. Let's go make our way down off these rocks. Right there's our trail. Actually, we need to go that way. Yeah, so here's looking back towards Rothrock's rock. There's kind of a split in the trail. The trail goes that way, one goes that way. I think to get to the top I did go that way, but I came back this way, so it's right up there. So when you're coming down the trail, you start seeing these rock piles, you're pretty close. Alright, time to head back though. Look at the time. I left around 3:45, so it's almost 4:30. So 45 minutes. Only some of that was hiking. You know, a bunch of it was looking for the rock too. Alright, but let's start heading back. Oh, I gotta read that quote to you too. I'll find a rock on the way back here to read that to you. Alright, so this looks like a good spot right here. I think Rothrock would like it. Probably get a wet butt a little bit, but here. Let me quick read this to you. Yeah, the mosquitoes are coming out now. So he wrote this in 1915, and it kind of sums up, you know, that logging era and the disappearance of our forests. Whew, I catch my breath here. So, quoting from Rothrock, 60 years ago I walked from Clearfield to St. Mary's to Smethport, 60 miles, most of the way through glorious white pine and hemlock forests. Now, these forests are gone. So just a short but powerful little quote there. I've often wondered myself what it would be like to walk in those old growth forests. Like, there are pockets of them. Up in Allegheny National Forest, there's a place called Heart's Content, but I think it's only like 20 acres. It gives you a glimpse. But wouldn't it be cool just so we had still vast areas of untouched, you know, forests like that in their original state to walk through and hike through? It would have been amazing. Giant trees, all kinds of fungus. I mean, when they logged those forests, you know, everything. You know, I've talked in the past, there's so many species in Pennsylvania that either became extinct or almost extinct during that time. Yeah, it's just, anyway. Glad we found a rock. I was starting to wonder there for a moment. But now I just gotta make sure I find my way back. We gotta get to our campsite in Michaux. The bugs are getting a little bad. I mean, we are in Michaux, but I gotta find my campsite. Campsite number 3, the Whispering Pines. That's where we're headed. And the fog is moving in, making this trail even more mysterious. Maybe Rothrock himself is with us here. And I'm pretty sure right here is turn off number 1. Huh. I don't think that's... Anyway, go this way. That's not what I was looking for. Looking for remember I pointed out there's 2 white pieces of quartz at the beginning of the video. Maybe they're down here. Oh, okay, here they are. So there was, I forgot about that pull off, but yeah, right here's, this is what I was looking for, these 2 pieces of quartz. All right, we're good, so we go this way instead of that way. All right. And then once we get down to the bottom of this hill, we'll look for our other trail, that faint one that'll take us back to the Jeep. Yeah, so down at the bottom of this hill we'll look for a very faint trail off to our right. I can hear the traffic from the highway, so we're close. Yeah, here we go. There's almost no sign of a trail here. But here's our main trail curves this way. We need to go, I do need to go out this way. Actually this might be our trail right here. Yeah, I think this is it. Barely a trail. I think this is where we need to go. We'll find out in a bit. Yep, this is it. Right out here's, where's my Jeep? Oh, I see it up there. I was like, where's my Jeep? Yep, right up there she is. So thanks for coming along with me on this adventure, folks. It's cool to find that rock. Let's check the time. So it only took me, wow, it only took me like 15 minutes to get back. So it's not a long hike out there. But I didn't know where the rock was, so I spent some time looking for it. So that's cool. Rothrock's rock. All right, well, I'm gonna head to my campsite. I'm gonna camp overnight now, do some more filming tomorrow. All right, thanks for coming along with me. Thanks for joining me in this journey. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one.